Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar Unleash the Power of Data and Elevate Your Operations, brought to you by Ivan in association with ETCIO. I am Vaishnavi J. Desai, Assistant Editor, ETCIO, and your host for today's insightful session. In today's dynamic business environment, data is the cornerstone of success. And with the surge in cloud services and a shift towards centralized streaming architecture, building scalable, compliant, and secure data architecture is now more crucial than ever. And to guide us through this journey of data empowerment, we have esteemed speakers and experts from Ivan with us. Let me introduce our distinguished speakers for today's discussion. Jason Foto, he is the head of sales APAC at Ivan, with over 2 decades of experience in leading tech companies such as Cisco, Meraki, AWS, and now Ivan. His expertise goes beyond sales, as he has spearheaded teams introducing groundbreaking technologies to enhance customer outcomes. Based in Singapore for the last 16 years, Jason travels extensively across the APAC region. We also have Padma Shri MP. Padma is a senior solutions architect at Ivan, bringing with her 2 decades of experience in solutioning, sales engineering, and developing exceptional products in demanding business environments. Her expertise also spans various areas, including product management, entrepreneurship, and cloud and graph data science certification. Padma is also a proud owner of 2 approved patents. So today's discussion revolves around key points that will help organizations harness the full potential of their data landscape. We will discuss reducing downtime by up to 99%, improving operational efficiency by up to 30%, and there will be a demo with industry use case as well. Before we jump into the discussion, I'd like to encourage all participants to actively engage by asking questions in the Q&A section in the chat box, and our experts are here to address your queries. Without further ado, let's welcome our speakers, Jason and Padma, to share insights. Jason, Padma, welcome, and I leave the floor to you.
Well, hey, let me start by saying thank you. Thank you to all the participants, A, for your time investment, and B, for your interest in finding out how Ivan can help you accelerate unlocking the value of the data that you're currently housing. That's what today is all about. And I'm really happy that this is an opportunity to build upon what was already a very successful ETCIO event that we participated in early December 2023. Today's all about keeping the momentum, building awareness across each and every one of you, creating some excitement about the value proposition of Ivan, and ultimately, if Padma and I do a good job, encouraging each and every one of you to have your organization reach out to Ivan and request a trial of our platform. My name is Jason. I've been a member of the Ivan family, the Crab family, for nearly 1 year now. Head of sales for APAC, excluding Japan and ANZ. And I'm pretty excited to tell you that although we are just getting started in India, India is by far our fastest growing market. And indeed, I saw many of the participants on this call have already reached out and started having conversations with us, which is fantastic. The session will be broken down into 3 parts. I'll be speaking for roughly 25 minutes or so, positioning Ivan's platform, Ivan's value proposition. I will then shift to Padma, our senior solutions architect based out of Bangalore. And Padma will be doing a show and tell, because ultimately seeing is believing, and the power of the platform and the simplicity of the platform, Padma will cover. And then we will leave just about 20 minutes to get to some specificity. And by that, I mean your questions, right? So we're looking forward to getting some questions from you in the audience so that we can get specific to how we can tackle potential challenges or areas that you would like us to cover. Before I go into the slides or move on to the next slide, I think it's important for me to cover 2 aspects of Ivan, the why Ivan and the how. The why Ivan, quite simply, is we're here to make managing your cloud data systems, your cloud data platforms easier. That's our reason for being. That's our sole purpose, is to make it easy for you to manage your cloud data systems. Now, how we do that is quite unique, part of our value proposition, and that is the unified platform. And by that, what I mean is we've scoured the earth, we could say, to identify the world's best open source technologies, the world's best open source database technologies. And we've put these together. We've integrated these technologies in order to provide our prospects and customers with faster, more competitive total cost of ownership and multi-cloud capability by leveraging our platform. And so that's what we're going to be covering today. The what will come in the subsequent slides, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty. If I asked you to take a pen and paper and kind of look for themes of the next 15 to 20 minutes, it would be threefold. The first theme, of course, is speed, right? How can we accelerate your time to value with the data that you're currently hosting today, help you get better outcomes? Two, how do we create an environment where you're confident and happy that we're helping you optimize your costs? So how do we lower your total cost of ownership? We're going to be talking a lot about open source technologies to achieve that, but we're also going to be talking about multi-cloud out of the box when you think about Ivan. And this multi-cloud out of the box allows you to take advantage of hyperscaler price wars today. That is a big part of reducing your total cost of ownership. And then the third theme that I would like everyone in the audience to remember, recall, and focus on is when it comes to security and compliance, it's been thought of from the very beginning of Ivan's platform creation in 2016. So security and compliance, integral out of the box as well. Okay, slide one. How do we, in a world where ever-increasing amounts of data, volume of data, leads to a faster and more profitable outcome? So cloud costs, when we speak to customers, are forever seemingly increasing. The complexity upon which to piece these together to get to a better outcome, the costs of increasing data, securing the data, extracting the data, integrating the data is never ending. And what we've been telling our customers is about 15 years ago, software used to be, eating the world. And nowadays, data is the new gold, right? And you don't want to be eaten by the data and fully consumed by the data and overwhelmed. What you really want to do is you want to find yourself in a position where the incremental data that you continue to store and look to analyze to drive better outputs, you do it at speed so that it can lead to more profitable, faster outcomes. And this is where Ivan comes in. We're looking to help our customers look at better ways, different ways, leveraging open source technologies that is fully integrated to get to a faster and less cost outcome. And maybe here's a good opportunity to introduce some components of Ivan. And I say some components because there's more open source technologies than the ones listed just here. But essentially, point number one of this slide is if you're looking to accelerate your time to value when it comes to your data, you have to look at more than one technology. And by looking at more than one technology, immediately you introduce some complexity. And the examples here on the left-hand side, whether it's Kafka, Flink, OpenSearch, Postgres, et cetera, what we're trying to articulate here is that each one of them require a framework in order for you to efficiently and effectively, optimize that technology. And what we're seeing is whether it's open source technology, on-prem, in cloud, a combination of, or in some instances, even multi-cloud, the layers of complexity keep adding on and on and on and on. And so where does Ivan fit into all of this? And how can Ivan help accelerate these outcomes? So first things first, on the right-hand side, stream, store, analyze. What we've done since 2016, when we've shaped this platform, is we've looked to standardize, right, the framework of how we achieve these outcomes. So the fact that, one, it's all open source technologies and we are committed to open source technologies. Two, we've standardized the frameworks. Three, we wrap this into a 99.99 SLA to bring it to an enterprise grade, brings us to the opportunity, your opportunity of portability, of multi-cloud. And that's why you see the AWS, your Google, your Azure at the top. Because once you're on the Ivan platform, because it's open source, because we have the 99.99% wrapper, because we're in every hyperscaler, every major hyperscaler data center in the world, your ability to right-click, move workloads from GCP to AWS to Azure is as easy as right-click and move your workloads. So that is one of the compelling offers. Having said that, why do we bring it all together? Well, because the conversations we have on a regular basis are around digital transformation initiatives that are either falling below the mark upon what they're able to deliver and at the ease at which they're able to deliver it, or at the cost, or as this slide portrays, the time, right? Most of these initiatives are falling behind in terms of time. And I've alluded to some of the reasons on the previous slides, but to reiterate, right, what is hurting time to value? What is hurting time to value is the complexity, right? So I mentioned whether it's open source technologies, proprietary technologies, cloud, vendor lock-in, we find ourselves talking with customers that feel stuck and are looking for a way out so that they have options moving forward and they can avoid the lock-in. And so we're trying to help customers avoid this sense of siloed, this sense of concern around reliability, predictability. That's one angle. The second angle, and I think many of you will smile when I say this, is the ever-increasing cost of managing your data, right? It goes without saying that cost is a leading factor and one of the main reasons why we get to have conversations with you. Many of our customers are looking to optimize the environments that they're in. And then last but not least, there is compliance, right? Whether it's multi-cloud, whether it's multi-zone, whether it's the 99.9% reliability, whether it's the one secure policy that you can implement when you go into the Aiven platform. These are all elements that we look to address when it comes to compliance as a point that we put an effort to accelerate. And so now the bigger picture, right, of where is Aiven? So I did mention we are in every major hyperscaler, in every one of their data centers, everywhere in the world, offering portability from one to the other when you're on the Aiven platform, right? So AWS, Google Cloud, GCP, Azure, DigitalOcean, Oracle, which is fairly new, right? We've been ramping up Oracle for the last 3-4 months. And there's also UpCloud, for those of you who may have heard of UpCloud. Our core competence is all about stream, store, analyze, visualize databases, right? And so from Kafka to MySQL to Redis to now, net new capabilities and services. Some of you might have heard of Dragonfly, for example. Some of you might have heard of EverSQL, and we'll allude a little bit into that later on. But when it comes to optimizing and fully integrating world-class open source technologies, that's what Aiven is all about. The full integration of these technologies, not siloed, fully integrated into the platform. What do we standardize? Access management, backups, disaster recovery, security updates, etc. Right? So that we remove the headache of these disparate teams, maybe having different frameworks that don't completely align, create confusion, cost, and a lack of, a lack of confidence to proceed with your digital transformation initiatives. And so ultimately, what we are looking to deliver is a unified platform at a lower total cost of ownership, giving you confidence to proceed because compliance is taken into consideration by default. And I believe we're going to be making these slides available. If they're not available, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on LinkedIn and connect and ask me for the slides. I'll be more than happy to share them with you and to have a conversation. And so here's the value proposition of Aiven, right? So what we're looking to do is we're looking to offer prospects and customers a different way of accelerating outcomes using open source technologies. We believe that the suite of the world-class open source technologies that are fully integrated today can meet 98% of our customers' requirements, right, when it comes to the outcomes that they're looking for. We offer a single management plane. So whether you want to go multi-cloud, and I think many customers do today, because they want to have that portability and the opportunity to take advantage of price wars, you can manage through our console, Aiven's Redis on AWS, Aiven's Redis on GCP, Aiven's Kafka on Azure, Aiven's Kafka on Oracle Cloud, et cetera, et cetera. So that simplicity and consistency is what we're offering. A key standout that many of our customers enjoy and appreciate is the 99.99% reliability. Right? So we're very proud of that SLA, and that's how we feel. We elevate open source technology to enterprise grade. Of course, we offer expert services. Of course, we offer enterprise support, what you would expect from any vendor, right, to give you confidence to proceed. But as the initial knock on the door, this 99.99% SLA is one that we're very proud of and we lead with. We've talked about reducing total cost of ownership, and I know cost is often the leading point of the conversation. We never want to shy from value. We do believe we offer a lot of value. But when it comes to cost, I think a couple of areas I want to call out here. One is we have great point product solutions like Ivan's Kafka, sorry. But if you're just looking for a point product solution, okay, we can compete, and we're pretty proud of where we can compete. But the real value add of Ivan is when you start combining the technologies that we offer on our integrated platform. The more technologies that you combine, the easier it is for us to really help you achieve a lower total cost of ownership. And it's much easier for us also to get to quicker, faster results, better performance. So I would definitely want to make that call out. And then last but not least, I've already discussed compliance and our enterprise grade. I don't want to spend too much time on this slide, not because it's not important. It's very important. It's a snapshot of the simplicity of the Ivan platform, but because we've allocated 15 minutes or so to our senior solutions architect, Padma, to walk you through the power of the platform. And so we'll save that level of detail for the demo. On the first slide, I mentioned the why, Ivan, right? To make managing your cloud databases simpler, more easy. I mentioned the how through the unified platform. And I said in the slides, I would introduce the what. Here's the what, right? So if you look at the managed services that we offer at the top, whether it's streaming, whether it's relational databases, whether it's storing, analyzing, visualization, these are the current technologies that we're offering. Right. Of special interest, Ivan for Dragonfly, fairly new, just made available a few weeks ago. EverSQL, our answer AI ML when it comes to optimizing SQL databases, already quite popular in India, I have to say. If you haven't trialed it, you should really look up EverSQL. It's pretty amazing. And then there's other elements of the evolution that I'll cover later on, but elements like tiered storage for Kafka that we're rolling out. So we continue to expand the platform, to reinvigorate the platform with the latest and greatest technologies. Of course, everything we do is open source, right? It's one of our premises. So look at all the cloud providers that you can host your solutions in. Of course, a variety of methods to deploy. And then because we're open, fairly easy to integrate with some of your more commonly known third parties to get better outcomes and faster outcomes. I said we're just getting started in India. We've had dedicated resources in India now for maybe 7 months or so, and we're looking to expand our investments in India because of the traction that we're getting. But worldwide, our engagements have accelerated, and we're really proud of some of these logos like Decathlon, which many of you will know is one of the largest retailers, GTL, one of the largest logistics companies in Indonesia and ASEAN, the government of UK, of course, Adeo, Okta, and many more. And I'm pretty pleased that we've closed a few opportunities in India over the last couple of weeks. I think some of you are on this call and have offered to be referrals as well. So I'm hoping that the next opportunity we have to present at Ivan, we can have some India-specific references here as well. So regardless of the vertical you're in, if you see you have an opportunity to optimize and to accelerate extracting value from your data, well worth having a conversation with one of the Ivaners in India or myself. We speak about this flywheel, Ivan, open source, and customer. I mentioned we are committed to the open source community. By definition, it's the largest community in the world. And so what we look to do is we look to package the world-class best open source technologies, fully integrate them so our customers can extract maximum value and speed, time to value. And then we stay very much engaged with our customers to get feedback. And that feedback we deliver and we invest it back into the open source community. So for example, the tiered storage for Kafka is a result of customer feedback. And we've invested authors and resources into the community to make that possible. The need to go high scale Redis, for example, is another requirement from our customers, which has led us to bring in Dragonfly into our unified platform. Another element from our customers has been, how can we help introduce some AI capabilities into our platform? One of the reasons why we've gone out and bought EverSQL and making that part of our value proposition. And so this flywheel, many of you might have heard of the concept at AWS, is one that we're really proud of at Aiven as well. And we continue to be active participants in the open source community. I've only got a few minutes and my last slide really ties everything nicely. So I'm gonna go through the next ones rather with a bit more speed, because like I said, I'll share these slides and you can read the level of detail that you might be after in order to proceed with confidence. But rest assured, the framework that we provide, that standardization, is to give you confidence that, we've got everything under control when it comes to access and provisioning. When it comes to security and compliance, we hold ourselves, as you would expect, right, to the norms and standards that are required globally, but also in country, right? Because again, we are present in every major hyperscaler data center in every country in the world. And so per their requirements, we're also adhering to local government requirements, GDPR being one of the most commonly known. And then financial governance is an important one that I need to spend a bit of time, because you'll see on the bottom right-hand side, the before last bullet, bring your own cloud. And bring your own cloud is an important value proposition that we offer our prospects and our customers. And many of you will get excited by the 30% lower total cost of ownership that you see on this slide. So here's the deal. Where customers are looking to leverage the Aiven platform to accelerate faster, better, at a lower cost outcomes, we offer the possibility of having these managed services hosted within your preferred cloud tenant, all right? Which means you get the benefits of our services, but then you also get the benefits of the preferential discounts, maybe the credits that you've received from your hyperscaler. We are in the ISV marketplace of every one of the major hyperscalers that you've seen on these slides. And so I see a lot of customers putting an asterisk on this slide because you can take advantage of potentially better discounts that you've negotiated, take advantage of credits that you've managed to secure. You can take advantage of maybe your CISO policy that requires you to be in one or two of these hyperscalers only, and you can't work outside of those boundaries. All of this is made possible with the Bring Your Own Cloud, right? Of course, there's a minimum commitment that we look for our customers to make to Aiven. We don't just do this for a couple of $100 MRR. But if you're looking to be spending in the neighborhood of $5,000 MRR on our platform, then this is something that makes sense for everybody, right? So for your hyperscaler, unit economics for Aiven, and definitely the preferential rates and the savings that you can achieve. So Bring Your Own Cloud, another asterisk, please, for you to remember. I have one more slide after this, Padma, and then I'll shift to you. And the last slide brings everything together. So bear with me. Typically, what we would love to do for customers that believe this resonates and they would like to look at bringing some of their maybe on-prem open source technologies that are self-managed into the Aiven environment. If they're looking to pivot away from maybe a proprietary solution into an open source technology or to the Aiven platform, we look to have a further conversation just so that we can assess the true value of what we can achieve together. Of course, then we have to look into the details, right? So with many of our customers, we sign NDAs. We're happy to sign NDAs to do an in-depth architecture review. And then, like you would expect with any of your hyperscalers, ISVs, we look to do a proof of concept, a proof of value, before you get to proceed with confidence with us. And so those are typically the next steps. And again, you've got my name. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Feel free to connect with me, and we can definitely further the conversations. Okay, we're going to really look to accelerate your time to value. But I did say I had as we say in French, I'm French Canadian, by the way, a pièce de résistance at the end. We have a whiteboard that we typically present to CXOs. And it's always better to present on a whiteboard, but I think this wraps everything together and makes it real for you. When you look at metrics, I call them triggers, right? Of the parameters that you need to manage quite carefully. Often it's your hyperscaler cost, often it's the people, and often it's the cost of a downtime, or the worry about the hit you might take on your brand reputation. So these are like the triggers that are consistently a part of your day-to-day, kind of like, how do I optimize this space? In a world of ever increasing data, volume of data, we would all like to think that the equation is linear. The more data you have, the more value you're going to get from that data. But I think everyone on this call will realize and agree that it's not necessarily the case, right? And it's not necessarily the case because, let's see if this builds, because there are a series of constraints that prevent us from making significant progress to the right. Whether that's budget, whether that's people and skills, whether that's a security concern, whether that's compliance, whether that's time, whether that's operational resilience or the lack of desire of risk. So the more and more data that you have, of course, it costs more and more to store, secure, integrate. How can you, in a linear fashion or leapfrog, extrapolate at speed more value and move faster to the right? We typically ask our customers to stack rank the constraints, which ones are preventing them most often from being able to make significant progress in achieving value from data. And what we're trying to do at Ivan and what we're proposing to our customers at Ivan is to address all of these constraints by leveraging our platform. That is essentially what we are trying to do. That is what we're trying to offer. And so today, many of the businesses are leveraging the data they have to support the business, right? So you're able to provide your salespeople, your executives with reports, right? It's reactive. Many customers are looking to make some significant progress with the data sets that they have to running the business, right? And so where everybody has access to these reports and they can self-serve and hopefully in many cases anticipate potential risks, gaps, and mitigate against that. But the utopia really is, how do you take advantage of AI, all the data you have, to optimize your environment, to be more proactive, to be predictive, to come with better answers at speed. And Ivan is really trying to help our customers get from support to optimize in the fastest amount of time. And this is another exercise we ask our customers to complete. This, like, where do you see yourself on this diagram? And in the next 18 months, where do you realistically see yourself moving on this linearity chain? And if you were able to work with Ivan, how much more could you move up and to the right, and in how much a better time? And how do we do this? Apologies, this slide builds. How do we do this? Well, we do this again with all of our hyperscalers, right? So if you remember, the platform, the unified platform, is the best open source technologies, fully integrated and portable, right? So we're committed to the open source technology world. And the reason why I say that's important, and I'm highlighting the cloud providers, is I want you to imagine a world 20 years ago when we were all investing in a bucket load of disks for storage. And we felt like once we had made a decision to go with IBM and IBM's controller, we were going to be forever beholden to IBM or HP or Dell. until NetApps came across and offered a console that democratized storage. Until that moment. This is what we're proposing today from an Ivan's perspective. We believe, our strong opinion is 80% of cloud providers when it comes to storage, compute, power, etc., can be relatively easily taken advantage of, right? The services don't differentiate that much. Maybe 20% does, but 80% of the services don't differentiate that much. And you can take advantage of this and the price wars. And what we're proposing is to introduce you with open source technologies that will help you collect, stream, process, analyze, visualize, because it's open source, the layer on top. So that if tomorrow you're currently on AWS and GCP offers you a 50% discount, you can move your Kafka, your OpenSearch, your ClickHouse, right click and move it to GCP in a matter of a few seconds. And if Oracle Cloud comes to market and they offer you a 50% better discount for putting your workloads on Oracle, again, you can right mouse click and move your Ivan workloads into your Ivan hosted tenant on Oracle Cloud. And that's the proposal that Ivan is making to you today. Everything open source and everything to help you quickly accelerate your business to optimize and leveraging Ivan at scale, at speed. So that's it for my presentation. I think I'm 2 minutes over. I'm going to be shifting over to Padma. Again, thank you for your time, and I'm hoping many of you will be reaching out and we can further these conversations. Padma?
So thank you all for your time today. So that now you have heard Jason so much about Ivan, what it does, what it offers, how it can help you reduce cost, do things more efficiently. I would like to take you through our platform, our console, and showcase the power of the platform and how easily you can achieve all of those things that you have heard so far. So for that, what I have done is I've chosen a pretty simple use case. Why simple use case? Because I see that we have audience across the industries. I wanted the use case to resonate with all of you. So take any industry, any organization, definitely you have some products to offer or services to offer. You have customer data and you have your sales data, right? So, and any organization would like to analyze their sales data and take some actions, and also, if possible, would love to do some predictions where I can invest more, where I can sell more, right? So these are the basics of any organization. So let me take this use case and showcase you the power of our platform. Moving on, I want to just highlight what are all the current challenges any organization in any industry would be facing when it comes to analyzing the data that they have. They might be having TBs of data, but what happens is when making use of that, there are a lot of challenges. The challenges could be something like one is it's not real time. You are always processing batch data, and you are dealing with large huge data, and there is obviously that will lead to high cost, high maintenance overhead, and that might be okay, but still end of the day you're not getting the insights in real time. Sometimes it could be in weeks, something happened, there is some insight in the data, but you're only able to get that insight on your paper 1 week or 2 week later. Maybe sometimes it is faster and you might be able to get it in days, but still it's not real time, right? So let's see how we can eliminate this batch processing, make it more real time, and take value out of your data and take decisions. So this is the architecture I'm going to show you. As you can see, there is a lot of Ivan components here. Most of the components are open source technologies from Ivan platform. I'll be using Apache Kafka Flink for streaming and stream processing. I'll be using OpenSearch for analytics. I'll be also using showing you multi-cloud architecture. Basically, I am making use of AWS and also GCP, and I'm having cross-cluster replication between these two clouds. That means if one region goes down, you're still up and running in another cloud, another region. And end of the day, you are getting, what matters is you are getting insights out of your valuable data in real time. So quickly, I'll jump on to my console. So this is Ivan console. So you might be familiar with AWS or GCP console. This is Ivan's web console. There are other ways to do your DevOps like CLI, API, etc. But for today's demonstration purpose, I'll be making use of our web console. So as you can see here, I have launched around 6 services. 2 of them are Kafka, and they're running across the clouds. One is in AWS and one is in GCP. I have Mirror Maker, which is synchronizing the data between them. I have Flink, which is doing stream processing in real time. I have OpenSearch for doing my analytics and doing visualization. So now we'll come back to this. We'll dig more deeper into our platform, but let's see how we can see the insights in real time. So what I've done is any organization will have some customer and sales data, right? So I have tried to simulate. I have a Postgre database here, which has customer, product, and sales data here. So I will go and run one of the simulator which tries to randomly create sales data. So, and I want to see some analytics coming out of that sales data, customer data in real time. As you can see here, I don't have any visualization as of now because I'm starting from zero. So let me start pumping some data. So as you can see, as the sales is happening and I'm immediately able to see some analytics coming out. So we'll come back to this, but let's go back to Ivan console and see what is happening behind the scenes. How am I able to generate that insight in real time? So the first service I am making use of from Ivan is Kafka. So what I have done is I have created a Kafka cluster. Let me show you how quickly and how easily you can create a Kafka cluster on Ivan. Let me jump onto my project and click on create service. I'll choose Kafka. I will choose GCP and Mumbai region. And I'll choose the starting plan and I'll just give some meaningful name and click on create service. So you can see that it didn't even take me 10 seconds to launch my cluster. Now what is happening behind the scenes is there are 3 dedicated virtual machines being spun off and Kafka is being installed on that. In 4 to 5 minutes, my 3-node Kafka cluster will be up and running. So just wanted to show you how easy it is for you to get started on Ivan platform. And this holds good for any of the open technologies that we offer on our platform, be it OpenSearch or Flink or Cassandra or ClickHouse. So now going back to my use case. So this is my Kafka. I have my topics here. So what is happening when I'm pumping data from my Python? My topic is getting populated with the incoming sales data, customer data, product data, etc. And my Flink, which is a stream processing application, is basically working on that real-time data. It is doing some processing on top of that, be it filtering or aggregation or some logic. So it is doing all that so that you can clean your data, you can aggregate your data and for further processing. So once this is done, data goes back to Kafka and OpenSearch, and in OpenSearch I have created my visualization. So let me go full screen. Yeah. So any business user can just look at this and take some decisions. For example, in my organization, which is the category that is doing really well, or which is the category that is not doing well, in real time you can see that. And also you can see what categories are people spending time on my, it could be a website or it could be a mobile app or some other platform. I would be interested, apart from the sales data, I would also be interested to see where people are spending data. For example, in electronics, I see the time spent is more, but the sales is okay, but time spent is much more. But why is it not getting translated to sales? Maybe I can, maybe the navigation is difficult, maybe the information is not enough. So we can take some information out of this. And this is like user ratings. I can see Todd has given us really bad rating. Maybe I can go and see what happened there. And this is low rating median. Customers who have crossed below, who are below this, I don't see any categories below this. Suppose this category was below this, that means this category or this product is not doing well. There is lot of negative rating there. So maybe I can go and take some action. Okay. So that was just an example, and this is the most simplest case I could think of that can resonate with across the industries. But when you get started with Ivan, the possibilities are limitless. There are n number of use cases that you can tackle because we have so many offerings. And not just that, we have offering across the entire data pipeline. You can have streaming, you can have storage, you can have analytics and visualization, and you can stitch all of them together. As you would understand, my data is flowing freely across the platform. So how is it happening? Because I have stitched all of these applications together. So though they are entirely different products from different projects, I am able to get the data across with so easily. That is one thing. And also one last thing I want to show you with respect to the demo is, okay, this is all fine, this is all functionality, but how about observability? So we have metrics integration, Prometheus, Datadog, Zolokia, and with that you can send it to a visualization tool like Grafana. As you can see here, I have my Grafana dashboard. I can go and analyze my system metrics, could be CPU, memory, how is my Kafka cluster performing, how is my OpenSearch performing, or I can come back to one of the particular service, Kafka, how are messages coming, how is producer working, how is consumer working, with respect to any other service. So the beauty here is you are able to provision and manage multiple different services from one single window, and also you're able to observe them from one single window. Okay, let me just go back to my slides. This is the architecture that I'm using. So as you can see here, from my Kafka, it is going to GCP. And because this is handling real-time data from GCP, what I have done is I have again sent that data onto Google BigQuery. So further, what you can do is you can apply Google's prediction algorithms through which you can predict, like, for example, this customer is going to be interested and going to purchase this kind of products. So that kind of prediction will definitely help you to support to make that happen basically. So you can also do that prediction or ML algorithms from my OpenSearch. I am sending to Google BigQuery. This is my Google console. If I go and see here my data, I can go and query. Yeah. So you can see data has already come to Google BigQuery with sync connector basically. And now from here, I can make use of Vertex AI. I can apply purchase prediction algorithms from Google and start predicting who is going to buy what. So yeah, so I'll stop here and go back to just one more slide that I have. Okay, now that you have heard what Ivan can do, and you have also seen the power of the platform, how simple it is, it is just time for some numbers. So as you know, the world is moving towards stream processing from batch processing. It's all event-driven architectures that organizations are adopting. But the need of the hour is achieving high throughput and low latency at the same time. So with our benchmarking that we have done internally, I can give you some data towards that performance. So recently we have done one benchmarking for one of our global large bank customer using our Kafka Connect, Flink, and MongoDB integration. So for the CDC data, we streamed a huge amount of data, 20 million CDC records from MongoDB, which came to around 1 terabyte of data through our Kafka Connect to Kafka. It happened without the CPU going beyond 20%, without the memory getting blocked. And we could achieve good throughput, and latency was almost in real time. Basically, when data is getting generated on MongoDB, you're able to see it on Ivan Kafka in real time. So that's the power of, that's the performance that we can achieve. So, and also with respect to latency, we guarantee you P99 percentile. That means there might be some mission critical or real-time applications which require the latency to be below a certain threshold, and we can do that 99% of the time. And on top of all of this, there was no message loss. Even with 1 TB or 20 millions of records being streamed, zero messages were lost. And how is this happening? How is this happening is Ivan optimizes. We always deploy on best hardware possible, be it dedicated virtual machines, high-end virtual machines, or be it latest and best storage options that are available, NVMe, etc. So that is how we'll be able to serve our customers with highest throughput latency possible. And if you can see the PostgreSQL, most of our customers are launching big databases. 10 plus terabyte is common on Postgre that we see, and there is no issue at all. We are able to handle huge databases there. So I'll take a pause here and see if we can address some questions that you might have.
Thank you, Jason and Padma. Thank you for your insights. And as we move towards the interactive Q&A session, one last call to please feel free to post your questions in the chat. And we want to ensure that today's discussion addresses your specific interests and challenges. I have a few questions of my own. Padma and Jason, you can take turns answering this. There are many vendors who can provide these services that you offer, such as Kafka and Postgres. Why should I go with Ivan?
So Vaishnavi, let me take that. So I can list, I can give you a big list, but on top of my mind, see, multi-cloud architecture. Nowadays, even it is becoming a law, I would say in some countries, wherein you cannot be on a single cloud for disaster recovery purpose maybe. So Ivan is I think the only platform where you can have a multi-cloud architecture and seamlessly replicate between them and do your disaster recovery easily. That is one thing. And 99.99% availability, I think it's the best in the industry for these open source technologies that you can get. And one more thing I want to mention is we do scale up, scale down, upgrades, migration across the clouds, migration across the regions without any downtime. Yeah, so yeah, there are many more, but I will say these three are the high.
These three are top.
Maybe one.
Niranjan, that
Maybe one
answers
to
your
add,
question.
Padma. Sorry, let me add just one because I think it's important. The fully integrated platform is something. Yeah. So again, right, but we're not just a siloed technology or a couple of technologies. We're now up to 12 technologies, and we're continuing to add, and everything, right, is fully integrated, tried, tested, trued, and wrapped in a 99.99% SLA. That's a big differentiator too. Thanks.
Yeah. Niranjan, hopefully that answers your question. And there are several questions on security as well. So I'll club them and pose one. So what security measures are in place to ensure the confidentiality and integrity of the data? And if you could also talk to us in perspective of the new law that's come in, the data protection and privacy law in India, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So as simple as putting the patches, security patches on time, to encrypting your data at rest, encrypting your data whenever it is in move, and complying with all the security laws and regulations that you mentioned. We are compliant with all international laws and regulations, be it GDPR, um, uh, PCI DSS, ISO, everything. You can maybe go to our website. You can find the latest certificates on that. And when it comes to day-to-day operations, you can set up authentication. We always mandate TLS certificate for authentication, and you can also set up your UAC, user access control. Authentication and access control both are very strongly taken and implemented at I1.
What type of different security services have been successfully onboarded? Do you want to take that, Padma?
Sure. I mean, if different types of security services.
Yes.
Okay, I think it translates to the regulations. I can confirm GDPR, PCI DSS, OSI, and CCPA. Yeah, I think and the HIPAA. Yeah, all major ones.
So Niranjan, Anish, hopefully that answers your question. Abhishek has a question. Is Ivan available on-prem?
No, we are mainly on cloud. As you can see, the long list of cloud vendors there, all the major vendors. Only one thing I would mention is we do support AWS Outpost.
Understood. Understood. So do you have any performance benchmarking data for your services?
Yes. I think I talked a little bit about that for Kafka, but we do have benchmarking data for Kafka, Postgre, and many other services. If someone is interested, definitely I can share that across.
Perfect. What innovative features or technologies do you plan to introduce in the near future, Jason and Padma?
I think Jason already mentioned few of them that we recently came up with, EverSQL, Dragonfly, and few more he mentioned. I will add some things that are coming in the future, like tiered storage. As you know, and you don't have to you don't have to keep everything in your main storage. You can offload to warm storage or cold storage, thereby reducing your cost and efficiency. So that is coming. And auto scaling, which is really asked by many of our customers. So your services can scale up and scale down based on your current workloads. And with respect to Flink custom jar, the ability to create your own jars and uploading onto the platform, that is one thing. And metrics, observability. So I1 for metrics is coming very soon.
Perfect. Niranjan has a question. What can be the probable challenges and roadblocks while integrating with multiple tools and technologies of cybersecurity, and how can he navigate or resolve those?
So challenges when setting up a security application, is it?
Or while integrating with the cybersecurity tools.
Okay. So sure, I think we can connect offline. We can set up a call to take it deeper, to have a meaningful discussion. But definitely security, as we mentioned, it's built in the platform itself. You can integrate with third-party applications, third-party tools, and be it IAM or SSO, you can integrate. Definitely, you can build your own architecture out of I1 components. But to have a meaningful conversation, I think we can connect and take it forward.
That'd be better. I guess that would assure them. That'd be great. Finally, last question. Does I1 offer trial for evaluation?
Yes. So
Perfect.
You can go on our website and get subscription in a minute, and you'll get $300 of worth credit. You can use it within a month, and also I'll be there to support you if you need for your trial. Please reach out to me.
I think that's a good note to end on, Padma and Jason. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We hope you've gained valuable insights into unleashing the power of data to elevate your operations. Special thanks to our speakers, Jason and Padma, for sharing their expertise. And remember, this journey to operational excellence continues, and Ivan is here to support you every step of the way. Have a great day and stay tuned for future webinars from ETCIO. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.